Welcome back to Tennis Manager episode 18. Last time out, we found success. Tanaway got her first ever tournament victory at a 60 level tournament, netting $1,000 to the Academy. And Uni got her first senior victory, a 25 level tournament, netting $9,300. So we made $10K in one day. That's going to really help with those finances, which, by the way, are at about $35K a month right now in terms of profit. So if we're adding in 5-10K a month on top of that, we're not too far off now, not too far away from about 50K a month, which would be such a healthy profit that we are going to be able to pretty quickly turn around and reinvest. I did a little focus training for all of the team members this week. Uni, the only one to not level up, but she's at 93% on her backhand, which was my next targeted attribute. Meanwhile, Tanaway, I targeted serve power, and not only did she hit that, but her volley and her topspin all leveled up. Takalenko targeted his backhand. It was really weak. Well, all of a sudden, just like that, it's a 5 and a 6. So we're making some steady progress with everyone. We just start qualifying for 25 level tournaments, and then we go and win. So we jump so far in the rankings that we immediately get seeded, and we are the 4th seed for this one with a fairly doable path towards a quarterfinal, maybe even towards a semifinal. First round is just about the most comfortable we have been in a couple of years for Uni. Second round was supposed to be tougher, and it wasn't much tougher. It was still very comfortable as we continue to progress deeper into the tournament. Third round, easiest match we've had so far in terms of ranking, but it is a loss. 4-6, 2-6. It's a quarterfinal exit, and that's still an okay run for a 25 level tournament. We were slightly ahead on service. We were well behind on winners, minus 19. And that's still an area of occasional concern, right? It's still developing for us. We've got a lot of 9s in that area. It's good, it's competitive, but we are in the seniors, and we are going to come across players who are just technically more gifted than us. And if they, like us, can keep it clean, then we're in trouble. And here, +2 on unforced errors, -2 unforced errors, very level. But because of the huge disadvantage in winners, we only take 43% of the points and are out in the quarterfinals. Tanaway, meanwhile, has won her semifinal, so we can definitely see the progress that she's made between the form, the morale, and her developing technical ability. She's really coming along, and we're about to step into a different role for the first time as we go to the group stage finals for the World Cup junior boys. First time for 5 years as manager. It's pretty dang obvious who our top 2 guys are. They are already at just 18, well up the senior level. So we'll select those guys. We can select up to 5. And then beyond that, seems to really drop off. We're going to have to rely pretty heavily on those 2. It looks like we do have a junior still who's pretty high up the rankings. That's pretty solid. But then that seems to be about it. That's the end. That is the end of our quality. So one more senior, I guess, and the next highest ranked junior to fill out the squad. We're going to have to rely very heavily on Jordan Lee and Michael Antonius. And Tanaway has won her final, so that's 2 straight tournament victories for her. I would bump her up a tournament level, but her ranking has suffered so much that for now I'm keen on keeping her there a little bit longer and maybe just bringing her up to a 100 just before the end of the season. Well, for now I'm going to filter by both types of tournaments. She's been playing at 60. She started the year playing at 100s and struggling, so we dropped her down. She wasn't even qualifying for the 100s, but now that her rank has come back up, she will qualify for the 100s again. And if we're looking at every 3 weeks, well, the first little 3-week set has no 60s and a couple 100s. So we'll get her into one. There's no warning about possible rank issues, so she's in. She's good. And we can stay with 60 for the 3 week later. Uni has yet to make a single mental upgrade throughout the entire junior set of her career and into now her first victory at senior level. And now she wants to keep a larger share of her prize money. Now we're getting actually a really good share, 62%. That is a very healthy share. And we're also approaching the end of the season. If we give her a 4% reduction, she will keep her morale. If we give her a 2% reduction, her morale will decrease a bit. And if we deal with it later, she will be absolutely floored. So 0 mental upgrades, the big thing that we need from her, from these successes. And instead we get the alternative one, now I could keep more of my money now. In all honesty, she deserves that. I mean, they all deserve that. They are the ones going out and succeeding in the tournament. And yes, we are providing the training. And yes, we are providing the resources that get them there and help them get that success. And we absolutely deserve a share of that. But we are getting a very healthy share of that. We're going to go down the middle, though. I don't want to absolutely tank her morale, but I also don't want to give her a massive reduction when she hasn't done the necessary mental upgrade. We really, really need that from her. She is so many years into her career to have not a single mental upgrade. It's tied for her lowest attributes now. Tukalenko continues to struggle. He has not been playing well here lately. He's somehow keeping up form, but I think he is the one who is being out-progressed by his opposition, where Tanaway, having dropped her down a level, is able to rock bottom. Really? I could have given you nothing. So it wasn't rock bottom. It did end up just coming out to correct. Morale will be okay on that front. Tanaway has gotten right up near her goal for the year, where Tukalenko just has been stable at this just barely edge of 400, not scoring any consistent points. But Uni has climbed all the way to 433 in the rankings, which is just such a solid number. But we've got some training. We're very close to the end of the season, even though it's still August. A few episodes back, I posed a question at some point because I was not sure. Rankings are obviously dynamic. They are changing all the time. What I wasn't sure about was expectations, because you have a goal for the year, and that goal does not evolve. Either you achieve it or you don't. Circumstances don't change. You miss 6 months with an injury, they don't care. If you don't achieve your goal for what the year was, they are going to be upset. You have a bad run of form for a while, and then start to get right. It can impact morale over the course of the season dynamically. You can feel better about things as you find some better form after struggling for a long time, even though you're not yet at your goal. However, for goals, it's just year as a whole. What I wasn't sure about was reaction, form, when it comes to how you're performing of late. Now I know I'm fairly certain. So last time out, or 2 tournaments ago anyway, Uni got her first ever victory. It was 25 level. Her rank went up a lot. She's in the top 500 now. She is a 2 seed for this tournament here today. Last time out, she lost the quarterfinal, of which a couple months ago she would have been thrilled at losing a quarterfinal. This time around, she had a bit of a drop, not only in morale, but in form. She took a hit to her form because her ranking was such that she was upset for losing a 25 level quarterfinal, where a month earlier, quarterfinal runs in a 15 had her very, very happy and maintaining top level form. All because she claimed 1 victory and saw her ranking increase. So yes, It is 100% dynamic. It has nothing to do with the year objective. It is the here and now. And her expectations had arisen quite a bit after that win, which means there's a lot of pressure on a 2 seed with a really hard draw. I have no idea how this player is not seeded, but this 25 level tournament has a lot of higher ranked players than we are used to seeing. It's a difficult first round. It's a difficult second round. It's a difficult third round ahead of us. And we know that we're going to take a drop if we lose any one of those three. But we get the first. And the second, after we lost the opening set, though. Meanwhile, Takalenko got the first, but not the second. Tanaway in her tournament got the second, but not the third, as in the quarterfinal. Uni now has the quarterfinal. Gotta get it. Luckily, though, it's the qualifier ranked much lower who we have in this quarterfinal. It's a player we've beaten before and beaten again, though it did take 3 sets to do it. Fairly comfortable in the 2 sets that we won. Very close in the ones that we lost, but still a tight contest. Semifinal 1, the 559 beat the 505. We are going up against the 506, while we currently are ranked 433. We're the only seeded player left, but all 3 still alive in the tournament are all top 600, so it's pretty close, and we are the outsider on paper. But we are the victor in actuality. 6-3, 6-3, 56% of points won, slight advantage in service, +9 in winners. Unforced errors was a +10, and forced errors was a -6. That was the closest of the categories besides service, and so it didn't hurt us too much.
First set.
Straight into the match and straight into speeding it up. It is a final. I gotta work quickly. I am leaving in a handful of hours for vacation, and this is the last recording that I need to get through, but I've got other work I've got to get through as well. So I know it's going to end up being a shorter episode, but it is what it is. We break her in the very first game, so we're already on the front foot for this one. Looking good. We are thrilled, but not doing great mentally. We are a bit stressed. At least we're indecisive on the motivation, so we're not feeling the moment too much. I think we are carrying a certain bit of confidence that we can do this with those recent successes that we have. And our opponent is just a little bit worse off than we are. I think we're at 2.5 out of 4, where she's at 2 out of 4 mentally, so she's not feeling the strain. However, she might be feeling the fact that we are up 4 games love right now in total control. But up against it, she is battling back, winning the next 2. And making that 3 in a row. Uni finally bouncing back with her first win here in a little while. And after going up 5-3, we have a set point, break point for the particular game. And into the net, and there you go. There is your first set winner. And starting off strong in set number 2. Coming from quite a few points down, pushed it, and then, from love 40 we come back to win that game. Get her up love 40 in the next one, and she's going to bounce back. But after the back and forth, we eventually do claim the game and then continue right on our way. It's 4-1. We also do have the advantage in the fatigue factor, so at 5-3, it's match point, 40-15.
Second service.
Let's go, Uni. That'll make her second career victory, but not yet. Not yet. We fall to the ground, not in celebration, not in relief, but in the... Oh, come on. Why didn't I do that? 6-3, 6-3, though. Job done. Second career victory for Uni. And it looks like we might be starting next season in the 3rd tier. Uni climbs 281 spots through the second Hearth season, just 3 tournaments over that stretch. But she won 2 of them, lost in the quarterfinal on the 3rd, a 92% win rate. And yet we were suffering from a drop in form and morale from the single loss that she took in the period. But we are 34,000 healthy payouts, really helping us. And at 195K, I'm going to be checking here in a second if we can get our next upgrade on the go. We did the clay courts earlier. We've got 3 more types with upgrades on the way, and I think we might be able to afford 1 or 2 of them with that much cash. As for Tanaway, healthy period, up 35 spots in the rankings to 154, 140 points, much more than the last one, and that was much more than the previous one. A little bit of cash as well with 5K, and we won 2 tournaments with Tanaway, having a very healthy 13 of 15 matches won, going up from 75 to 86%. Staying at that 60 level, though, she definitely needs to move on to the 100s. But Takalenko, yeah, still a struggle. Still a struggle for him. We're looking at a slight fall in the rankings, though it's been fairly steady at just outside of the top 400 here of late. 3 tournaments played, but only 1 victory. Our team rating has grown to a 2.5 star. Our academy reputation remains at 2 stars. We did bring up the training rating for the Sports Center to a 1.9, where we have 2 stars, 2 stars, 1.5, 1.5. And across the board, we're at 1.9 or 2.0 for all 4 of them. But of course, it's that Sports Center we wanted to take a look at, and actually we can officially we can afford all 3. The most expensive, the grass courts, we can barely cover. Hard courts is definitely a place we spend a lot of time on, and so I think we'll take that one next. It is the cheapest of them at the moment, but if you look at the offset, right, it kind of pays for itself, but not entirely. It will cost us a little bit, but we'll get a 20% bonus on hard courts. We'll have more space for another trainer, not that we need them right now, but it's more about the bonus. So we're very much coming up on the end of the season. For one, we're almost there on getting to that level 2 for the Sports Center. Right? It's very clear at 1.9, this upgrade will get us there. Increasing the reputation of the Academy, I feel like we're getting close to that next half star, but it hasn't happened just yet. But we're also coming up close to the end of the season, so I'll probably be leveling up here pretty soon. And we are into September. However, this is what's next, and we are going to have our very first junior men's management of US, and there's a lot of pressure on that one, where the Academy has not had the pressure. We're taking young players and developing them, and we're making progress with players that have limited potential. Eventually we'll have some pressure as we have Manicella, our first high potential player, coming in to try to develop them and keep them on pace, on target to get competitive and get towards the upper rankings. However, there's a lot of pressure with any of the US jobs, right? They are expected to win each and every time. They don't win it each and every time. It's more like half the time. But there's a lot of pressure to perform and to make a very deep run at the very least. So that process begins next time. But finally, somewhere, we have 2 career titles. And both of those for Uni. Both of those very recently. Her last 2 out of the last 3 tournaments she has played. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.